Nigezza here from nigezza.co.uk. I'm here today with this project here, a lovely gift box, and the base is hand stamped, and I think that's beautiful. I do love it. It's my very favourite Blackberry Bliss, and I've used the Abstract Impressions matching dies and stamp set. Okay, nice sizable box, and it measures, helps if you have the ruler up the right way, it's just over 4 inches, so 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and it's 1.5 inches deep. So a nice sizable gift box, and who wouldn't love a little gift dressed up like that? So stay tuned and I'll show you how I made it. So to make this project, I'm using extra thick Whisper White for the base and the lid. The base is 7 1/16 by 8 5/16, and the lid is 6 1/8 by 7 3/8. All the measurements will be on my blog, nigezza.co.uk, and then for the little bit on the inside of the lid, I've just used ordinary Whisper White for that one, and that is 4 1/16 by 5 5/16. There's 16ths in it because, you know, to make the lid fit. So I'm going to do some stamping. This is the base. Yes, it's bigger than the lid. That's because it's deeper. I've got a little bit of a mark there. How did I do that? Do you know, you just start and then it all goes Pete Tong. Let's find my little rubber. Get rid of that. There we go, that's better. Okay, so I'm going to do some stamping on this. I am using Abstract Impressions and the matching Springtime Impressions Thinlits, and I'm just going to use these two smaller flowers. I'm not going to use that one. Okay, so I'm going to get my stamping mat on here, which is not that big for this bit, but it'll do because I'll just move it around. I'm using my favourite Blackberry Bliss. Absolutely love this. This is the old style ink pad because I had it from before. So I've mounted the two up, and I'm going to do the one with the, there's thinner and thicker. So I'm going to use the thinner petals in the straight on. Just go around the edges a little bit before I start coming in, and I'm just going to randomly stamp all over. And so you're not bored, then with the thick one I am going to stamp off. Now you can line these up, but I'm not going to because it would just take an age. So I'm just going over in any old way because it's abstract. It's called Abstract Impressions, so it doesn't actually really matter if it doesn't line up. So I'm going to continue and do this all over this sheet and come back to you. So there we are. I went all over it. I decided to fill in all the gaps. I decided to completely cover it in the end, and I really like how it's turned out, and I can feel a matching card coming on using that. Right, so let's get on with a bit of scoring. So the box base is going to be 1.5 inches deep, so we are just going to score on all four sides at 1.5. All the measurements will be on my blog, nigezza.co.uk. Okay, and then we may as well score the lid whilst we're about it. and the lid we're going to score on all 4 sides at 1 inch. Oh, I did do a little bit of a slippy there. Don't usually slip on this. Must not have been concentrating. There we go. It's no drama because we can just rub that out with my bone folder. Give that a bit of a rub, and then you won't particularly notice, although it would have been the lid, wouldn't it, and not the base. Sorted. Right, so let's fold and burnish all these school lines. I do love Blackberry Bliss. I'm so glad it's back. How beautiful is that? And then we just make it up like you do for a box, and we're just going to cut down all these straight edges and notch in to take out that fold where we scored, and then it sits better. And I usually notch a little sliver off the top as well. Do the same on the other side. And then I'm going to use fast fuse for quickness because I still have some. So I'm just going to run some fast fuse on the flaps. You could use Tombow, you could use tear and tape, you could use whatever adhesive you like when making boxes. Has to be a strong adhesive, otherwise it will fall apart. If you use snail, it will come undone. Boxes need a little bit of extra to hold them in place. So we're just folding these up at right angles to make our box. There we go. So that's the base done. How beautiful! I really like that. Okay, and then for our lid, we're going to use our lovely corner die, and we're going to cut that out. So that's why the dimensions are the way that they are. Because I wanted it to fit this corner die just perfectly there at the top. So I'm going to run that through the big shot. I mean, it is 6 1/8 inches wide, and the big shot's 6 inches, but that little 1/8 inch will actually just squeeze in. So I'm going to cut that out and come back to you. So I've cut that out, and whilst I was over at my big shot, I cut the butterfly out as well. So just pop out these. I feel that this pops out a lot better than our other butterfly die that we had, the Butterfly Basics. I have got the brush, and I do often use that, but I'm not quite sure where it is. I've been moving my craft room, and some things are not quite unpacked yet. So I'm going to gently pull this out. There we go. and then just poke these out. Okay, so that's them all knocked out. Now, of course, we want to stick that back in, but there's nothing to stick it to, which is why I made this lining. So I'm going to stick this on first, and it's cut so that it sits inside the score lines. Okay, I'm just going to, because my plates are a little bit in need of a change, so I've got a few marks on it from my plates. Actually, you won't see that bit in the corners, doesn't actually matter. So I'm going to put the glue on the back of the card where it's cut out so that I know that it gets to where I want it. So go all the way around the edges and up these bits so we get good adhesion. I'm going to blob around these bits. I'm going to stick this down. As I say, it goes just inside the score lines. And then we turn it over. We've got something now to stick this down to. Okay, now there's some quite thick areas on this for blobbing your tombow on. You might have your own preferred method of blobbing on tombow. Some people use cocktail sticks, some people use a sponge, some people go on the back of their hands, some people use different glue altogether. Whichever way works for you. You could also use the full adhesive sheet, because then you'd have glue on the back of this for sticking that to, but I've had mixed success doing that myself. And then let's glue this down. I usually have a bit of a block. I haven't got a block, but what I have got is my box that my chamois in. Not very heavy though, that, but that's fine. Little blobs down there actually are required, so didn't put enough down there, so just a little blob. Hold it in place. That blob there. Don't want too big a blob because you don't want it oozing. I once had a lovely box of chocolates that had an inlay like this, and I thought, I want to make that, but at the time didn't have a die to do it, so very happy with this. Right, so we are going to make this lid up in the same way as we made the base. So we're going to cut up straight up those score lines and notch in. I'm doing this before I fold and burnish, just to give the glue a little bit of extra time. You could of course do this before you do the stamping, and then it would have had plenty of time to glue down. You could have put a block on it, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. So do as I say, not as I do. That would probably be the way I would do this if I did it again. There we go. I'm now going to fold over, and you've just got to be careful where you're gluing, in case it's not quite stuck, but with a bit of a burnish might help it adhere there on the corner. Do the flaps. There we go. And then I'm going to put some fast fuse again on. Actually, no, I'm going to do some Tombow so that I've got a little bit of wigglage when it comes to fixing it around the box base, so that we get a good fit. I'm not doing any thumb half circles because it's smaller, so it doesn't need them. Right, so let us stick those flaps in. Oh, didn't burnish that one. One idiot. Trying to do this without getting glue all over me. There we go, and then we can stick those flaps down and get ourselves a nice snug fit. Yeah, I'll take that off now and burnish underneath. That one seems to have come off that side. There we go. Give it a good press. And then I'll do the same on this side. Oh, slight oozing of the glue there. And I moved it. See, you want wigglage, but you don't actually want to go too heavy-handed. And that will fit snugly on the base, like so. And we just need a little bit of Tombow on those bottom edges. If you give it a press. There we go. And then I am just going to, you can feel, and then I'm just going to stick the butterfly, take my bone folder, give it a bit of flight, so kind of round round it in there, and then curl it over at the ends. So it's flying up. Oh, must have had a little bit of glue on there. And so I'm just going to take my Tombow, just a little strip down the middle there, and have my little butterfly. Yep, flying that way. I'm going to take the lid off so that I can give it a good press. And that is my little gift box. I think I might finish it off with a bit of ribbon to give it a good finish off. Okay, so I decided we have a little flower in the die set. So I've cut some flowers out of Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to stick them round the edge of the card. So just doing the last one. Really quite easy to use this spongy effect. So there we are, stuck all the flowers on. I did video a little bit more of how I stuck the flowers on, but for some reason the video went into slow motion. So yeah, so I've had to come back on after I uploaded it to redo it. So there we have it. So I did the flowers all around the edge, and it's very pretty. Hope you like it. All the details on my blog, nigezza.co.uk, close-ups, measurements, etc. Link in the description bar below. Link to my shop if you want to buy anything. If you buy these stamp set and dies together, you get a 10% discount. So it's worth it, and you make some absolutely amazing stuff. I will be doing something, I think, with some hand stamped DSP. I think that's stunning. Okay then, see you again soon. Bye bye.